7.8 billion people live on this planet. 4 billion of them are on social media. That's half of the entire human population who are actively using social media. These platforms lure you into signing up with the promise of becoming better connected, but under the surface, their powerful algorithms are designed to keep your attention for as long as possible. Likes, comments and follows all trigger dopamine release in your brain, making these platforms extremely addictive and keep you coming back for more, which is exactly what they want, because attention equals money. You've no doubt thought about quitting social media before, but I would hazard a guess that you didn't because of the fear of missing out. What if I told you the only thing you're missing out on is your own life? So I've always been somebody who spends a lot of time on their phone, and this last lockdown my screen time skyrocketed. I was spending upwards of 10 hours some days on my phone, which is completely ludicrous. I use YouTube for entertainment and education purposes, I use Instagram for inspiration, I use Facebook for nothing really, to be honest. I mean, does anybody who's under the age of 50 actually use Facebook anymore? I'll wait, name some. The latest addition to these social media platforms was TikTok, and well...
Hey, what's up to all juggalos and juggalettes, my juggalo family? I'm back online because...
Moving on. For the last few months I was starting to feel like I was stuck in this creative rut. I couldn't come up with ideas, I just felt a real lack of motivation. On top of this, I was struggling to manage my uni workload and maintain a reasonable upload schedule to YouTube. So I've done social media detoxes before in the past, but never anything on this scale. I started by deleting Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and finally, my beloved YouTube.
Don't you delete me, boy. Don't delete me. Don't do it. You are nothing without me. Don't do it. Now what?
I wouldn't normally consider YouTube to be a social media platform, but the only thing is, the last time when I did social media detoxes, my YouTube time went through the roof. After deleting all the other apps, I just spent so much time watching videos, so I wanted to get away from that as well. To take things further, I even installed a website blocker on my laptop to block Facebook and Instagram, just in case I get the urge to jump onto my laptop and use them there. I kept the likes of Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp because I use these for university and for keeping in touch with friends. So with my website blocker in place and all of my apps removed, it was time to begin the detox. No more mindless scrolling, no more time wasting, no more likes, no more social media. No problem, right?
Okay, so it is day number 1 and I've already ran into my first issue with not having any social media. And it's just because one of my friends got an interview by some person who allegedly knows me. He sent me his name, I had no idea who it was, and normally in this situation I would pull up Facebook and begin my FBI investigation, but obviously I couldn't do that, so I had to call on the help of family members to do the investigating for me, and they were able to find out who it was. Is that cheating? Don't really think so, but you know, had to be done.
For the first few days I found that I was unlocking my phone and swiping over to where those old apps used to be, just as force of habit, to pull up Instagram and start scrolling through all the stories. I decided to change the entire layout of my phone. I moved everything into folders, changed the background and just made it really ugly to look at, to be honest. My phone just is void of all colour and void of all happiness, and to be honest, when you open it, you feel sad, and that's because I don't want to be using my phone, so I made it look ugly. I noticed an immediate boost in my mood during the first week as well, and it felt like a huge weight was off of my shoulders.
Okay, so it's day number 7 and I feel pretty damn great, to be honest. And here's what's changed. My sleep has gotten better. I no longer spend hours at the end of the night just sitting on my phone, wasting time. My phone is pretty much redundant now. I only really use it for productivity things, use it for university, that kind of stuff, which is a complete change of pace, and I really enjoy that. My sleep's gotten better because I'm not keeping my phone in my room. I don't use it first thing in the morning as well. I've also got this sense of freedom from not having to try and come up with Instagram posts all the time, not having to try and come up with dumb shit for TikTok, and also not from checking my YouTube Studio app. Normally I would check that thing multiple times a day just to see if anything's changed, and it was honest, it was just, I was tying all my happiness to the numbers that I was seeing on the screen, and just taking that away from my phone has improved my mental health dramatically. And the last thing that I've noticed is there's a lot less noise, and I don't mean in this area, because this area is the noisiest place I've ever been in the world. I mean a lot less noise in here. I'm sure you've heard that saying where somebody's talking too much or they're talking too loud, you're just like, can you stop? I can't hear myself think. I feel a bit like that, only I've just not been giving myself that time to think. Every second alone, every awkward silence, every moment where you feel the slightest hint of boredom, just pull up the phone, jump onto a social media app and fill the void. But that's not happening anymore. And it is so freeing.
I remember back in 2016, Alex and I went on a trip to Thailand with a tour group. We went to a place called Chiang Mai, which is it's about 10 hours north of Bangkok via the night train, which is where we went. We went to Chiang Mai, and then from there we did a hill tribe trek with the tour group for 3 to 4 days in the jungle. And when we were out there, we stayed at the tour guide who was from Thailand. We stayed at his native village, and obviously you're in the middle of the jungle in Thailand. There's no cell reception. Cell reception? Am I American? There's no cell reception. There was no signal, no cell reception, no internet, no nothing. It was just you, the woods, in these cabins, and it was incredible. But I remember vividly before we went there, everybody joking and placing bets on how long it would take for us to adjust to life without social media and life without a phone. But people were seriously concerned about the fact that they weren't going to be able to use their phones, and that just blows my mind on how dependent we are. At the end of week 1, I got a notification on my Apple Watch to say that my screen time was down by 45%. 45%? Are you for real? Finding out that my screen time had been halved was pretty damn rewarding, and this feeling carried into week 2. I enjoyed getting up and out of bed without the need to check my phone. I felt in control of my day again. I went out for a walk every morning, I explored new places and enjoyed sitting in the park without the need for my phone. I also got to spend some quality time with Alex. We went out for walks together again, which is something that we've really missed doing.
It's important when you're out in the wilderness to keep track of your bearings. I've seen this moss grow here before. We're fucking lost. Okay guys, we're out here. Yeah, there's fresh tracks. The LZ's closed. Quick, come here, quick. We found buried treasure. With any luck, we can use this to exchange for some With any luck, we can use this to exchange for some juice, because I'm starting to get really thirsty, and I don't want to be drinking my urine today. Just what we needed.
We spent time watching TV, and I felt like I was actually watching everything without the usual distractions. From beforehand I was watching the TV, and it's more like you're listening to an audiobook rather than actually watching the thing that's on there. I made time for the hobbies that I love, but I've always had something better to be doing at the expense of Alex's eardrums.
So you decide to punch me in my face when I'm sleeping. Shit in my cornflakes. Why do you hate me?
In week 3 I hit my first roadblock without having any social media. Normally I would promote my videos using Instagram, using the stories, get active on Instagram to promote the videos, and when I released my video for that week it completely underperformed. It was pretty deflating. This feeling of disappointment continued further. I made a follow-up video to this self-destructive behaviours one on how to get out of a rut, and that video put me into my own rut, just non-stop trying to figure out how to make this video better, and in the end I ended up just scrapping it. You'll never see it, you'll never see any clips from it again. Never. That's a lie, I'll be putting probably most of the clips into this video. Taking a break from YouTube is something that I really did not want to do. After starting this thing, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to stick to it every single week and not miss an upload, but it was something that I had to do just for my own sanity. The 4th week was incredible, a complete 180 from the previous one. I started to come up with some more video ideas again. I wrote some scripts for videos, generated a whole load of ideas, and finally felt like I was starting to get a direction with my channel once again. And this is all thanks to the fact that I didn't have social media weighing me down. Alex and I also began planning some travelling trips for when we're allowed to leave the country again, which was really exciting. Guess where we're going? Get commenting down below. If you guess it right, then you'll win a giant pink gorilla that I'll find somewhere. You can have that. I'll get you that. You can have the giant pink gorilla. If you guess where it is right, you can have it. The most valuable resource that we have as humans is time. So why are we so keen to waste it? Fill our heads with everybody else's lives and forget to live our own. This is what social media is doing to us. We spend all of this time just watching other people, looking at their highlights instead of actually making your own highlights. It's sad. I would highly encourage you to take a look at your life right now and think about where you actually are. Look at the decisions you make on a daily basis. Maybe social media is something that you need to take a break from. I would definitely recommend it. Try it. Do a week, do 2 weeks, see how you go. I guarantee you it will improve your life. You will feel less stressed. You will feel you have more time to do the things you actually enjoy doing rather than pissing away your time. You could learn, and the amount of time that I've saved on my phone, I could have learned karate. So my original plan was to do a 30-day social media detox and then download the apps again, but when it came to the end of the 30 days, I still had so much coursework left for university. I decided to extend it, and instead went from 30 days to 60 days. I set out on this social media detox with the goal of becoming more creative, getting out of that rut and starting to generate some more unique ideas, and I feel like I achieved that. I stopped comparing myself to others, which certainly helped boost my mental health. The biggest downside I found from not having any social media was not being able to interact with other folk on Instagram. I'm trying to build a brand here with this YouTube thing, trying to be helpful to other people and share the wisdom that I have gained over the vast years of nothing. I'm assuming there's people who have messaged me that I've not received a response. I'm sorry, you'll have to wait, but your boy was out here living his best life. I hate that so much. That is just stinking patter, isn't it? Out here living the best life? Or are you living your best life? Are you really? You're miserable sitting in your house posting a photo of how amazing your holiday was 5 years ago.
So I'm just sitting editing this video and I've realised that the Thailand trip I was talking about earlier on in the video was in 2016. 5 years ago. You just can't even write this, can you? I mean, look at how smug that face is, thinking he's got one up on everybody. What a tadger.
I would definitely say that the benefits have outweighed the cons by a landslide. I felt more present in my own life, and that's something that had been missing.
So I downloaded all of the apps again onto my phone and probably spent about an hour just going through all of the notifications and obligatory reply messages to people who thought I'd died. Nothing has changed. I have missed absolutely nothing. The world is still in one piece. I have enjoyed myself thoroughly without my phone for 60 days, so I mean, what's not to lose? Give it a try. I'll definitely guarantee that it'll help.
Remember Wall-E? All the fat folk are sitting in their chairs moving about with the screens. Yeah, that's right. That's going to be us if we keep going this way.